All right, if you're in the data world, you've definitely heard the buzz around Databricks. But how do you actually prove you've mastered it? Today, we are going to break down the Databricks Certified Data Analyst Associate Certification and what it can really do for your career.
So let me ask you this. How do you stand out? How do you show an employer that you don't just run queries, but that you can build real insights on one of the fastest growing platforms in the industry? Well, let's get into it.
Because look, we're not just talking about another fancy badge to slap on your LinkedIn profile. This is about sending a clear signal that you are truly proficient with a platform that is quickly becoming the standard. So let's start at the beginning.
First things first, what is this certification really? What skills does it actually validate? And maybe more importantly, why is everyone in the data community talking about it?
Okay, so in a nutshell, this certification proves you have the skills to work inside the Databricks Lakehouse. Now, if you're not familiar, a lakehouse is this amazing hybrid that gives you the massive storage of a data lake with the speed and structure of a data warehouse. This cert says you know how to navigate that powerful environment and pull out real, actionable insights. So, who should be leaning in right now? Well, this is aimed squarely at data analysts, BI professionals, and honestly, any business user who just loves getting their hands dirty with data. If your job is all about querying, visualizing, and telling stories with data, this was designed for you.
All right, let's shift gears and get into the nitty-gritty, the exam itself. Knowing what you're up against is half the battle, right? Here are the vital stats. It's a 90-minute proctored multiple-choice test. It'll cost you about $200, and once you pass, that certification is good for 2 years, which is pretty typical for these kinds of specialized certs.
You're going to face 45 scored multiple choice questions. Now, little inside tip, they sometimes throw in a few unscored questions just for their own research. So if you see something that feels a bit random, don't sweat it. Just focus on those core 45.
And you've got 90 minutes on the clock. You do the math, that's exactly 2 minutes per question. It means you've got to keep a steady pace. You can't afford to get bogged down on any single question.
And the magic number you're aiming for is 70%. That's your target. Get 70% or higher, and you've earned that certification.
So you know the challenge. How do you actually prepare to win? Let's cue the training montage music and break down what you need to focus on.
This chart right here is your study guide. It tells you exactly where to spend your time. And just look at that biggest slice of the pie. Executing SQL queries is a massive 22%. That's your number one clue about what Databricks thinks is most important for an analyst. And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most critical point of all. Your SQL skills are absolutely non-negotiable. It's not just one topic on the exam, it's the language you'll use for almost everything else they test you on. You have to be fluent. Now, technically, anyone can sign up to take the exam, but, and this is a big but, Databricks strongly recommends you have at least 6 months of real, hands-on experience using the platform. Why? Because the questions are practical. They test if you can do the work, not just if you've read the textbook.
Okay, we've talked about all the work you have to put in. So now let's get to the fun part, the reward. What's the actual payoff? Why should you invest your time and money into this?
It's really useful to see where this cert fits into the grand scheme of things. Think of something like CompTIA Data Plus as being vendor neutral. It gives you broad foundational knowledge. The Databricks cert, on the other hand, is vendor specific. It's all about deep expertise in one powerful, high-demand ecosystem. It's about depth over breadth.
And let's be honest, a huge motivator for a lot of us is earning potential. When you specialize in a platform that's in high demand like Databricks, you can often command a pretty significant salary bump compared to the average for a more general data analyst role.
And to put a real number on that, we're talking about an estimated average salary somewhere around $115,000 for analysts with these specific skills. Now that is a powerful reason to specialize. So what does a day in the life actually look like once you're certified? Well, you're the one creating and optimizing dashboards in Databricks SQL. You're writing those really complex queries to pull out game-changing insights. You're managing data governance with tools like Unity Catalog. In short, you are the person turning messy, raw data into the clean reports that actually drive business decisions. Look, in a field that changes this fast, getting a vendor-specific certification like this is a bet on a particular ecosystem. It validates your skills, it can absolutely boost your earning potential, and it's a huge signal to employers that you are ready for the modern data stack. The only question left is, are you ready to specialize in one of the most important data platforms in the industry today?